The idea of these conversations is, of course, that we get amazing people here who have some kind of entrepreneurial legacy, some like Werner for decades, and some are very young, and obviously also very young looking, like Stephan. What we wanted to do here is mainly a live podcast. So the idea was that we want to create content that we can distribute, which has some kind of reach and penetration, so that we can basically, spread the word. And you are in the lucky and luxurious position to be here, because we want to also engage into a conversation which might, include you as well. Because I think, having this kind of intimate setting here within the university is something that we can really leverage and really build on. We have this wonderful guest tonight, Stephan. He is an icon in terms of what he does. And for me, it's just simply the beauty CEO, because he lives and breathes beauty, and he's CEO of a beauty company. And since he finished his studies in business administration, he has always been in beauty. You worked for L'Oreal, you worked for LVMH, you worked for all of the big ones, you worked for the French ones, which of course we like. But before that, Stephan had a totally different career, and he might tell you later about this, because he was a professional football player. For me, being German and being raised in this tiny city, which was very close to Aachen, where he was playing, This is even more important that he does all this beauty shit. But again, today we speak about entrepreneurship and we speak about, his career. So basically, the first question, and we do, again, the Mark Anastasia game, and we both ask questions and we interrogate quite seriously, Stephan. So first of all, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for being here and coming here, and I'm very grateful. But who are you and what do you do?
Thank you so much for this nice introduction. So I'm Stephan, and I'm 42, and I'm the CEO of Mäurer and Wirtz. This is a family-owned company and lead it in the 6th generation, and I'm an external CEO. And we're the largest fragrance manufacturer in Germany, and we belong to the top 10 fragrance player in Europe. And as you mentioned in your introduction, you call me the beauty CEO, and indeed, I've been working in the beauty industry for many years, and I had the chance and the opportunity to meet fantastic companies, fantastic people, and to understand how French people and American people lead companies, and to understand what is the difference of luxury and aesthetic and etc. And 5 years ago, I was appointed to CEO. I remember very well because I was in the age of 37, and it was the first week of lockdown. So I started with COVID in my first week, and I remember very well because there was a special moment for me in that time. After 3 weeks, I was faced with a decision due to COVID to cut all budgets and to stop the launches for the whole year. And I look left and look right to the competitors, and they all cut all budgets and they stopped the launches. And I had really, it was not easy for me to take a decision, but I took one decision for my life, and I said, okay, we will launch all novelties and we will stabilize our marketing budget on the same level. And it was really bold for me, and it needed a lot of courage from my side. But after 12 months, after my 12 months, so we gained market share week for week, month for month. And this was in my career a game changer, because it showed me show courage, be bold, and dare something is successful. So this is the beginning of my career. Yeah,
I didn't know that part.
Yes.
It's also good, to avoid boredom during COVID. Just become CEO.
What a great start into your career at Mäurer und Wirtz. Tell us a little bit more about what the company does.
Yes. Our tagline is, we are the house of perfumes. So we are a fragrance manufacturer, and we have different pillars. We have own brands, like the most famous brand around the globe. It's 4711. This is the inventor of the category Colonia. It doesn't matter where I am around the globe, China, India, everyone knows the brand. And this is a fantastic, this is an icon, this is a heritage, but also brands like Tabak, as Oliver, a lot of lifestyle brands. And then we have the licensed brands, for example, as Oliver and Betty Barclay. And for the next year, we start to start as a distributor for the area Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. And of course, 2 years ago, we started to create D2C brands with influencer, and we are quite successful in that area. This is a new area for us, but this is really good because when it comes to margins, this is really interesting for us.
I mildly want to change the script of what we originally planned to do and what we originally planned to ask you, because we immediately wanted to dig into your career, but I think since you mentioned becoming the CEO during COVID, and then taking a bold decision and do stuff which was totally different to the rest of the market. Now you're in your position 5 years, which is already kind of a long time and a long period. What are your key success factors if you look back these 5 years?
So after 5 years, I think it is a good time to reflect the first years. And I defined my 5 rules of successful leadership. My first rule is listen to people. It doesn't matter if they are old and young, rich and poor. Listen to people, because everyone has his own story and experience. You can learn from them. This is my rule number 1. Rule number 2 is show respect to everyone. This is more my understanding of karma. If you are good to the world is good to you. And this is very important for me. It's more value-based from my side, but this is my rule number 2. Rule number 3 is be bold and be brave. So one of my mentors, a really wise man, told me once, if you would like to be, or if you would like to have outstanding success, you have to do outstanding things and not just, so he said, be different, not mainstream. And this is why I said, okay, I give him a try during my first steps, and this is really a success factor for me. Rule number 4 is love what you do. This is really important. You have to show fire, you have to show passion. It doesn't matter, it's Friday evening, it's Saturday. This is my expectation. It's not work. I love what I do when it comes to beauty, when it comes to fragrances. So this is not only a job. And rule number 5 is take decisions. It's better to take a bad decision than no decisions. Organizations, companies, we have to be fast, more than ever in times as we have right now. And organizations need decisions. And it's better to learn from a bad decision or a wrong decision than from no decision. So these are my 5 rules of successful leadership after 5 years.
It's funny because, listening to you and knowing you, I think you have a rule number 6, which you do not speak about, which is deliver.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Which is really great.
You have to deliver, yeah.
I'm happy that I made my rule number 6 now.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So I would like to also change a little bit the script here and respond to what you just shared with us. You have these 5 rules by which you live and by which you lead your organization. What are some of the superpowers or some hidden qualities that maybe are not very obvious to the people in the audience or people who meet you from the first sight, but that are very helpful and have been determining your success until this point? Yeah. If you don't mind sharing your secrets, of course.
Yeah. Mark, what would you say? What is my superpower?
Deliver.
Yeah, deliver.
Listen to people.
Yeah.
Show respect.
Yeah.
Which I think it's really interesting because basically, you really live to the rules.
Yeah.
So shall I ask?
No. It's just interesting.
And I think you also, it's strange because I'm used to speaking to so many people who say, well, I live to values, or according to my values, and then you have this very strange mismatch.
Yeah.
But actually, you are very good in terms of living according to what you say. You do what you pray, and I think that's very, very important. And I think it's also, it shows that you love what you do, and you're also very clear in taking very bold, and sometimes even unpopular decisions. And I think that's kind of powerful, really. But of course, you can add if there are any more superpowers. You're a good football player.
Yeah, but it's a long time ago. Yeah. And so I would say one of my superpower is understand and reading people.
Yeah.
I'm interested in people, and if you understand people and to understand different perspectives, it's easier to find a way and the same direction to get on the same page. And I would say this is my superpower. Yeah. Yeah.
Reading people.
Winning people.
Very good, indeed. Thank you so much for sharing.
We are always interested also in career paths. Is there, and I think, since you saw also quite a lot of companies, and now Mäurer and Wirtz feels a little bit like your companies, but were there any, did you have any obstacles on your way to becoming the CEO of Mäurer and Wirtz, or was there anything like a dark moment or a sad moment where you really had to be strong to survive?
So I have to say I'm very happy that there are not really dark moments, but of course there are many obstacles, because if you work hard, there's not just you can't only win. You find a way. It's find a way to lose and to handle this lose. This is really something, and of course it's in the recent time. It's not easy to handle the mental pressure that you have day for day, 25 hours, to find the balance between family, yourself, your mental health, and the business. And this is really not easy, I have to say. The mental pressure is very high. I didn't expect it in that way, and you have to find a way to find solution to handle it. For me, it's sport. It's my family. My family is my fundament, and I have to. But I need the power to go to vacation with them, and have to play with the kids. And this is really helpful for me to understand. Okay, I need my sport. I need my family, and this is. You have to know what's good for you.
Mm-hmm.
It was very interesting for me to have a little conversation with you before we started officially with the podcast, to learn about how well you seem to balance your life professionally with the kind of personal commitments and the things that you like to do for fun that kind of sparks you. So I was just wondering if there's anything that that you can share as a personal routine that the people could learn from you about how to keep this balance and how to find this harmony between the professional and the personal life. And if you actually had moments in life when you sacrificed something. So, because it sounds like, oh, you can do the vacation, you play with the kids and you find the balance, but were there also moments where you had to make some hard choices?
Yes, because so I'm full of energy and I really love what I do, but you need pauses in your life and also in your career. And vacation is very important for me because it's like a reset. I put my mobile phone into the safe, and I'm not available just for 7 days. And it's very helpful for me, and I need it. It's just 4 weeks a year, just these 4 weeks. But this is really helpful for me, and because if you don't have these kind of experiences, you can't go that way for the next 30 years, 20 years, etc.
Yeah, you did mention the mental clarity is important when you make decisions, when you run a company. So you need to take care of your mental health.
Yes. And when it comes to business, so I would say focus is very crucial in your business career. Sometimes you have to know what you don't have to do. Be focused, and this is more easier to handle and to manage and to deal with issues, etc. You need a clear focus in your life, and it's hard to say no, but it's crucial to say no. Yeah.
What were some of the things that you had to say no that maybe you regret, or do you feel like it was a necessary no and you feel fine about it now?
If you have to cut budgets because the profit is not there as expected, it's not easy because we have fantastic ideas for our brands, internationalization, etc., opening doors, marketing campaigns. To cut budgets for just really obviously a good reason, it's not easy. But we are a company, we have to bring profit, we have a forecast, and this is really not easy to say, no, we can't do it, or to restructure teams, etc. Because I'm really a big fan of teams. Achieving goals as a team, it's a better feeling than achieve a goal alone. And this is not easy to deal with these things. Yeah.
Thanks so much for sharing.
It's funny because in a conversation with Anna, who runs Assess right now, we had a conversation about the sad no and the good no. Because good no's are really good because they help you find clarity and they help you find focus, which I think is very interesting and very powerful. I think if I look at Mäurer and Wirtz, and especially a brand with like 4711, 47, 11 or 4711 is something which has a lot of heritage and tradition, and basically I think what you're very good at is bringing together heritage or tradition and next generation thinking, also next generation brand thinking. If you look at your career, what are the achievements that you're most proud of, and at the same time looking to the future, what's your ambition?
So I'm very ambitious because I mentioned, so we belong to the top 10 fragrance player in Europe. And our ambition is to be top 10 globally until 2030. That is, we have to double our turnover right now. Right now, this year, our forecast, we are generating a turnover about 240 million. And to be top 10 globally, we need 500 to 600 million. And this is very ambitious, of course. And but to come on that stage right now, I'm very proud because to achieve the turnaround of such a brand like 4711, it's really a huge achievement, and I'm very proud of our team and our achievements. And I remember very well my first year, and there's a prize. It's called Duftstars. This is the Oscar in our beauty industry, and this was my first ceremony. And we won 3 prizes in my first year, and this was just a moment to it was the proof of concept for our work during the past years.
Interesting. Also getting this kind of recognition in terms of awards. Yeah.
Indeed, I did see that section in Wikipedia about Mäurer Wirtz. Since you became the CEO of the company, you indeed won 7 of these beauty and perfume awards. Was this kind of like a pet project of yours? Was that something that was important from you and your leadership style and the way you wanted to grow the company? Could you tell us a little bit more about those kind of awards and what do they bring and how it worked out for you?
Yeah. So we had a conversation before the meeting, and you called us a hidden champion, and it has a reason because our owner, unfortunately he passed away 1.5 years ago, and his approach was understatement, and he would not be visible as a person, as a leader, and as he promoted me. And I said to him, okay, this is your style, but I have a different style. And if you look in the near future, we have to be attractive as an employer for employees. We have to be visible. We need more brands, new hot brands, and we have to show what we can do, how we work, who we are. And he said, okay, this is your style, I understand, but you can do it, but not with me. Okay, this is your stage. And then I started with my team to be more visible, to present. We won so many culture prizes. We have an ambassador team on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and we started with TikTok. This is, I would say, also a strength of me is I'm 42. I'm a bridge builder between the old generation and the digital natives. I understand both worlds. I understand the values from the older generation, and I also understand Instagram, etc., all the social things. And this is really what I like and also feel. It's not a job, I feel it. Yeah.
That's very interesting. I did indeed notice that you seem to be very proficient with Instagram,
Yes.
have gained quite a following
Yes.
already. And I bet those experiences, exactly like you said, have really prepared you well and gave you the skills and the understandings to also speak to the younger generations of influencers that are now helping you to develop some of these new brands.
Exactly. Yeah.
Everything you just spoke about was building a great culture. What makes a great culture?
For me, the most important is atmosphere. You need a good atmosphere to be successful and to be ambitious, but in a good atmosphere. If you fear something, fear is not a good companion. Fear is it's not really good, because you need full power. You need trust in your qualities, trust in your skills, and this is how I lead my team. So to involve teams and to bring them to the best point of them. Yeah.
It's really interesting. I just had a conversation with a former consultant who gave advice to a well-known entrepreneur in Germany, and he said, well, one of the first things we really have to do is cut the workforce by 20%, 20 to 25%. And the entrepreneur said, no, that's not what I'm going to do, because I want people to feel safe. And actually, if you look at organizations that are healthy, people don't fear. And I think that's amazing, that you do something like this. I think you were referring to, because we met after, the owner wasn't there anymore. But somehow you seem to have a lot of respect and appreciation for him. Was he kind of your role model? Did he teach you a lot?
I have to say I'm a fan of mentoring since my beginning in my career, because there's so much experience also today in the room. So it's foolish not to participate on that experience. So you have to take this experience. And yes, he was a role model for me. And also there's another guy, Werner Ballesarini. He's the former CEO of Hugo Boss, and he brought Hugo Boss from 40 million turnover to 1.5 billion within 20 years. And it's so important and so interesting. Listen to them. You can learn so much. And yes, I really love mentoring, and it helps everyone to get better, or not just to fail. Yeah.
Cool.
So just building up on that a little bit more, what in your opinion makes a great entrepreneur? And I'm also curious to find out, how do you come in touch with the ideas from great entrepreneurs? Do you read books? Do you listen to podcasts? Do you meet people in person and that's how you get inspired, go to conferences? So it would be great to know that.
I really like documentaries about successful people, sports icons like Michael Jordan, Michael Schumacher, Karl Lagerfeld, Arnold Schwarzenegger, etc. I really like to read or to watch documentaries. What is their key success factor? And it's for me, it's fascinating. And they also have one thing in common, their mindset. Their mindset is different. They're working really hard and they fail a lot, but they just stand up and get their ass off and work very hard. And so to learn from them and to understand why they are successful and what kind of mindset bring you farther is very helpful. And what was your second question?
So you answered the second question about the different media and channels through which you learned about entrepreneurs. And the first question was, so what kind of qualities, what kind of skills, what kind of mindsets make a great entrepreneur?
Yeah, I would say the media channel, it's kind of your own style. I like to hear podcasts and to watch documentaries. This is my way to learn, but everyone has to find his own way. So this is just subjective. And what kind of factors? So you need a mindset. You need a goal, I would say. You have to set goals.
Yeah.
You need a vision, because if you have a vision and a goal, you go this direction, day for day, week for week, and you can empower your team to go with you that way, and of course to find always motivation to train again, to stand up again, etc. I would say this is the typical factors.
Perseverance, hard work.
Yes.
What, and I still keep the 5+1 principles in mind, but what is some leadership advice that you would give to a student, somebody who's a seasoned manager and who is a CEO like yourself?
For all groups, I would say trust in you, trust in your qualities, trust in your skills, and try it. This is the main advice of me. And see every obstacle and every challenge that brings you farther. It's not easy, because if you have really an obstacle, and yesterday, so we are going to take over a big company and a big M&A deal right now, and this is a project that I worked for 7 months, and it's really hard to always come back, but this is really helpful to motivate me and my team day for day to see the vision, why we do it, and or why we should do it, and why we need it. This is really helpful for us.
And then you're really driven.
Yes.
Which is amazing. Yeah.
And of course, I look forward for the communication to share all the big news. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you if you could tell us a little bit more about how the perfume industry works itself, just for people to understand this specific sector. So what are some of the key success factors you would say that are helping you to be in that leading position in Germany and also to aspire internationally when you look at the industry?
So I would like to ask, who has more than 3 fragrances of you at home? Okay, the young guys, and okay, the women. And what kind of fragrances do you have?
So I have like many different kinds of fragrances, really like more French brands. Probably now I have maybe 13 or 14 different fragrances.
And what price point?
Ranging from like the normal like cheapish price points like 40 to 50 euros, to like more expensive like designer sort of ones, which might also be a little more niche.
Okay. And this
So which price point? Up to which price?
Like the highest probably around like 200 or something.
And this is interesting, because this is really a clear direction in Germany. young men buying very expensive fragrances. This is really, it's coming up from TikTok, from the social channels, and it's so we talked about before, and it's very interesting to see because there's a fragrance education. If you look during the recent years, and they know so much about ingredients, perfumer, etc. It's more a status symbol to wear a fragrance than a sneaker today. Yeah.
Oh, that's very interesting. So it's a way of kind of self-express, except instead of putting on a different set of clothing, you put on a different aroma.
Yeah.
Is that true?
I would agree.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
It's interesting because it also shows that the environment is changing. Targets are changing. But also the media landscape and everything is changing. How, and not only in terms of brand building and marketing and how you grow your brands, but how did you transform the organization? Because I think Mäurer and Wirtz really need some kind of transformation. Because otherwise, how could it be such a success during the last 5 years?
So I would say the beginning of all is a good analysis about the status quo. So you have to know where you come from and who you are, what are your strengths, and what is the goal and the objective in the future. And our objective or our analysis showed us that we were one of the leading companies in the masstige segment in Germany. We had a share of over 90% of our turnover was generated of the 3 main drugstores in Germany. And we said, okay, our DNA and our focus is perfume, but our idea was to diversify our portfolio. So our idea and our vision was to offer perfumes for every price point, every desire, and every occasion. And it's very interesting to see how we developed since that vision, because if you look 8 years ago, we had just perfumes around 15 euros. And 3 weeks ago, I was in Harrods and to present our niche brand, Le Destination, and this is a price bound about 250 euros. And right now we have for every area around the globe, for every desire, for every price point, different concept, different brands. And this is very crucial for us to be successful. We are the house of perfume, and we have for every desire the perfect perfume.
Cool. Let's buy.
So what drives your purpose these days aside from work? And what kind of sparks your engagement socially and in a personal way? In other words, also maybe you could tell us a little bit about your take on responsibility and how you give back to the world.
So rule number 2 of me is show respect to everyone. And this is really not only just a marketing buzzword for me. This is really how I live in the world. I really trust that if you are good to the world is good to you. And it's not, for me, it's not spending so much money for organizations, etc. It's more the small things in my life to be respectful, etc. It's not the big moment or something like that. So it's more that way.
Like more on a daily interactions, being respectful and kind to people, showing empathy, compassion, instead of big gesture, 1 million donation to some organization.
Yes, of course, we are doing a lot of our culture. For example, next Saturday we have a big soccer tournament just for the culture, and I have to play.
Just for you.
I have to play, just for me, exactly. Yes, and of course there's a lot of culture, a big Christmas party, and this is what I call atmosphere. If you want to create a good atmosphere, you have to do things for the culture, or just to have always an ear for your employees, just to have open door. It's not should not be just a word. You have to live it. Yeah.
I want to come back to what Anastasia also asked, which was about sustainability or responsibility, because I passed on one of the corridors. There was like a poster which was talking about how dirty the fashion industry is. So fashion is dirty or shit. I invested in 3 fashion brands, so I try to turn them around and make them good. Make them nicer. I don't know about, to be honest, I've never thought about perfume, and I've never thought about the category in terms of, sustainability, or how much, garbage there is if you take like the packaging and everything else. So what's your take on sustainability regarding the category, and what do you do at Mäurer and Wirtz?
Well,
possibly it's a very nasty question, but anyhow.
No, it's really a big topic for us,
Yeah.
for the industry. And a few years ago, we created a brand, really just even 100% sustainable brand, Hey Pure. The brand was called Hey Pure, and it was not just spending money from €1 from the sellout. We just creating from scratch a sustainable and clean brand. And we won a lot of prizes, a lot of media prizes. Everyone tells, Hey Pure is fantastic, it's such a nice brand. But I would like to be very honest and clear to you. It was not really a success when it comes to commercial. The sellout was a disaster. Because everyone is telling about sustainability.
But nobody's
everyone
paying for it.
Exactly. But it's not easy in a world like that, but we just have teams only for sustainability, and we set up a new report, a sustainability report, an annual report, 30 sites. It's really important for us, and it's a pillar in our strategy, sustainability, and we have great green teams. They're caring for people, planet, product. It's really has a big place in our heart and in our company, but it's always a balance to, especially as a leader today, to see, okay, I have to bring profit on the one side, and on the other side, I have to do things for the world and to be sustainable. It's sometimes it's not easy. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing so authentically.
Yeah.
It's really a great privilege. So we have a final question for you, and then we would like to also open the possibility for people from the audience to ask you questions. And the last question is kind of a bit of a trick question.
Yeah.
So it's an opportunity for you to speak about anything that you think it would be important to speak at this point. So what would you have wished for us to ask you so that you could tell us that is really important for you to share about either leadership, innovation, culture that you feel really proud of?
I didn't prepare that.
But I'm sure there is something you're proud of.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. So I would say my leading concept to my career is really courage, and I can't say it not often enough, because courage is so important today. I would say this is my guidance through my career, and I would like to share it with you and to motivate you to show courage.
But it's interesting because it's not only, if we just put everything together that we were just speaking about, it's being bold, being brave, being courageous, but at the same time listen to the world and observe it. So it's not something which is egocentric or egotistic, and it's like working like your own system, but you're always connected, and I think that's amazing. Interestingly enough, Werner was also speaking about courage quite a lot, wasn't he? So I think that's like the underlying threat. If you talk to entrepreneurs, I would also speak about courage. It's interesting because you have to be fucking courageous if you want to survive.
Yeah, because you are different, and to be different, it's not easy. Yeah, it's really not easy. Yeah.
So I'm very popular for abusing language. So forgive me. I'm never politically correct. So forgive me, especially since we add this, and I don't know whether we should cut it out. Anyhow, so we're open for questions. Any questions,
Please, yeah.
So you have stated that your financial goal is now to become one of the top 10 global competitors. So now I'm assuming that then you move up your scale, essentially that one of the main competitors and your new competitors will be then like the global household names, namely also the very big brands from, say, France and Italy. And I was wondering, since your company, your brand has a sort of, let's call it a different image than these like high-end super luxury designer brands, how you would then plan on business-wise competing with like very different brands who also have very high market shares and capitalization, and whether you see yourself and your company having to then compete with them, or actually then just furthering your specialization in the masstige, as you call it.
Yeah, good, really good question. Because if you look at the top 10 ranking, you have to be honest. L'Oreal, LVMH, Estée Lauder, they are far away, and they will always far away from us. But they are mid-sized companies around 500 and 1 billion turnover, 500 million and 1 billion turnover. Interparfum, Italia, they are competitors. They are ahead of us, but this is possible to catch them. And if you look at our areas of growth, it's crystal clear that we need inorganic growth. And without inorganic growth, inorganic growth, it's not possible. And this is why the whole division of new business and acquire new brands, new prestige brands is so important for us. And especially when it comes to our segments. You have masstige, prestige, and niche. And we are masstige leader in Germany and very close to be masstige leader also in Europe. We just have to find areas of growth to extend our prestige and niche portfolio. And this is, for example, if you look at brands, I would say Escada is really a fantastic brand. Escada is a brand, if you look at the Coty portfolio, it's number 25, 30, something like that. And but for us, it's a great brand where we can bring all our passion to it, and to give it a new bright shining in the future. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Who was next?
I just went through your Instagram. I found the interesting thing that you have changed your content. Before you just post some street photo, and now you more post some photos, some event and podcast. So what's the trigger to get you to change the content? Because you change the content, you change the profile to give your audience, your followers.
Yeah, that's interesting because in 2017, I had around 140,000 followers on Instagram. It's almost 8 years ago, and this is comparable. If you compare it to today, it would be around 2 million followers. At that time, it was really interesting to see all the big brands wanted to collaborate with me. As an influencer, not as a business person. I remember very well, I had so many invitations of Longines, etc. for the horse. It was really amazing. I did it beside my business or my career. And at that time, I was promoted in 2017, I was promoted to CMO in that company. And I recognized that it's not easy to combine and be visible on that part and on that part. And I took the decision, for me, I would like to have a focus on my business career. And I stopped to that time, I stopped to share photos, to share fashion photos. And I just started, I would say 2 years ago again, but this is not a classic fashion photo style. This is my life behind the scenes of a young CEO of a leading company. Also with a hint of fashion, but it's just a hint. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you, first of all, thank you very much for this very interesting insight into this industry. You mentioned the aspect of brands quite a bit, and so I'm wondering, in your industry, are brands the crucial factor for success, or is, when it comes to the success of a product, how much do you attribute to the brand and the brand management, and how much do you attribute to the actual content? Also, or in other words, are you more focused on brand marketing? You mentioned Instagram, you mentioned social media, etc. these days, or is innovation also in, say, logistic processes, new chemical processes, whatever? Could you maybe elaborate on that?
Yeah, product is king, because I work in a fantastic industry, but in my industry there is no really innovation. There is no really new things coming up. It's just emotion and storytelling. You need a good feeling. If you wear a fragrance, you need a feeling of being sexy, being safe, being confident, and you need a great product. If you have a great product, a great bottle, great feeling, then you did a great job. And if you fail with your product, you can have the best content, the best strategy, but it won't fly.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Thank you for sharing your journey. I have actually a question on your nomination as a CEO. Were there a specific path for you to become CEO? I guess there were a lot of candidates to become CEO at that time. Can you tell us more about the story and what actually made you stand out among the candidates?
Yeah. I remember there was it was also 2017, and we have a huge launch event for the brand Ballerini in Kitzbühel. It's Austria, and Kitzbühel is very famous for the rich people, etc. We have a huge international launch event. All the big press from to that time. Russia was our biggest country. Vladimir Klitschko, really huge celebrity. Really, it was really a big one, and I presented the brand to the press, and I lead it through the evening, to the whole evening. And 2 years later, our owner came to me and said, "Stephan, the first time that you stepped into my mind was on that day, because you did it so fantastic on that evening that I said to my wife, this could be our next CEO." Yeah. So, but I just didn't know at that evening, or just noticed it 2 years after that event. Yeah. But this was also a game changer in my career, and yeah. And if you work hard, you will be successful.
And there were no other candidates?
I don't know, and I don't care.
It was nice. I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Yeah, so thank you for very interesting questions and very nice speech. I have 2 questions, but start with one, then I pass it, come back. The first one was regarding your sustainable platform, that you said you had a lot of marketing basically for free, but then when you go to commercial, it was basically a disaster, you said. Why do you think it was a disaster? Was it too expensive for people? Was not a good fragrance? Why do you think, while many other perfume fragrances were bought, this one not?
Yeah, because if you look at the composition of a perfume, you are limited. If you're limited with your resources and ingredients, if you create a sustainable and clean perfume, you have not the same perfume creation, and the combination with that, and of course to invest €1 more for a sustainable fragrance, the consumers are not willing to pay it that for. Yeah. Because One of the key success factors in the fragrance industry is the long lasting of a fragrance. Okay, if you spray it in the morning, in best case you also smell it in the evening. But it's not possible to do it in a sustainable fragrance because it's just so many regulations about it.
Interesting. No, I think you were first here.
So the question that I had was about the turning point and like the major decision that you faced when you first came into the CEO.
Yeah.
And so you said that all the other companies and all your competitors, they basically cut budgets and they weren't able to produce as much. But you took the complete opposite step of it and were able to move forward with like the productions. And how were you able to come to that decision? Like as a business student, I'm curious, like what was your strategic like thought process on why you had to do this in order to gain a lot of market share?
Yeah, this decision, I had so many sleepless nights, to be honest. And I talked to a lot of mentors to that time. How would they decide in my perspective? And they said, and also Werner Balesterini said, okay, you would like to be, you need outstanding success, do outstanding things, do different things. And it was a chance. I'm so happy about it. But of course, I have to say, to that time, the owner was behind me and said, okay, we go this direction together. And this was really good for me. And
yeah. So were you focusing more on like e-commerce or something that time to push more products, or was it a more because during lockdown it wasn't possible for like point of sales?
Yeah,
right?
we started a new project for our company. To that time, back in days, we had 100% of our business was B2B, and of course I'm familiar with the social media game, and we took a fashion influencer, and created a brand with him, really high level, eau de parfum, 50 ml, price point around 100 euros. And we made a drop with him on a Friday evening. And we were sold out and generated a turnover of 1 million within the first 2 hours. It was really a try, and it was not easy because you have to know we are a very traditional company, and to say to the people, okay, we need Apple Pay, we need PayPal, and to combine it with SAP, it was really pain. Yes, for my team and for me, it was really pain. But and the owner said, wow, are you sure to do it? So let's have a try. And after the first 2 hours, and he gave me a call, it was around 10 o'clock in the evening, and he said, and Stephan, how was it? Yeah, we just generated 1 million. Huh? No, are you kidding me? I said, no, we sold out 10,000 pieces within the first 2 hours. Oh my goodness, he said. And it was also, and our start to D2C, and right now I think we have 3 or 4 influencers, and we just extend the business from year to day. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Well, it's really interesting, and I'll come back to the others, but it's really interesting that in recessionary times, and somehow COVID was a little bit like recession, it's if you behave differently and you spend more when everybody's decreasing their budget, it's the best way to increase market share. And there are lots of analysis around, over the course of the last 50 years, where it's basically, you took a bold decision, but actually there's a lot of supportive data which tells you, and I think you had a very good strategy, and I think it was also amazing in terms of what you turned around and how you tried out new stuff. But actually, companies that behave differently during recessionary times usually win.
But today, everything at the end of the day sounds easy and successful. It was not just that way. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
You?
I'd like to give the Dean maybe an opportunity to ask this question first.
But then we go back to you because you were first even before the Dean.
Go ahead.
Yeah?
Kudos. Thank you very much.
promote your university. Okay, I'd like to come back to the last question and also your answer.
Yeah.
All right. So you were saying a few minutes ago, the fragrance industry isn't really about innovation. Yeah, it's stable. It has been around for centuries, basically. It has always been big, absolutely, but not innovation. On the other hand, we're now. You also told us that we are learning. This industry is still dynamic, very dynamic.
Very dynamic.
You were speaking about launches all the time, and the big decision was to stop those launches. Yeah. Okay, and that brings me to my question of entrepreneurships. Yeah. Okay, these two things, they point into two different directions. The first one would say that's not really an industry for entrepreneurs. Yeah? It's has a long tradition. It's stable and it is as it is. But the second part of the story would say no. This is definitely something where you need to be agile permanently. So could you tell us what your definition probably, or your understanding, your view, your perspective on entrepreneurship in that kind of industry?
Okay. First question to you. What would you guess? How many fragrance launches existing during a year? How many?
Germany?
No, global. Yeah, Germany. Okay, Germany, yeah.
Altogether, all suppliers.
It just launches new fragrances, just new fragrances per year in Germany.
300?
One per.
Around 1,000 a year for year. And just 3% existing after 1 year and just 1% existing after 2 years.
Really?
Yes. It's not easy. It's really tough. Yeah. Okay. Come back to your question. Why I took the decision to go to Mäurer and Wirtz? Because Mäurer and Wirtz is a headquarter. I worked for fantastic brands, great brands at L'Oréal and Coty and LVMH, for Dior. It's a fantastic brand. But if you work in a subsidiary, and Germany is a subsidiary of them, it's not the headquarter, you learn so much of your marketing coffer of skills. It's fantastic, your fundament, but for me it was not enough. I need entrepreneurship. I would like to create new strategies, to create perfumes, to set up market entry strategies. So right now, this year, we start in the United States. In the past, the United States, it's not easy to handle and to deal with the United States. It's not an easy country. This was a white spot for us, and we created a market entry strategy for that area. And this is entrepreneurship. Or right now, we are willing to acquire a company with 15 brands. This is entrepreneurship. This is why my heart bumps for. It's new things coming up. This is really fantastic. But to work just 10 years in a subsidiary, I would say no. Yeah.
Thank you.
I would like to thank you.
Is it off the record or is it?
We can cut it out. We can cut it out.
Also, thank you very much for the insights. I would like to say a little bit longer again on the courage side and kind of being bold. And I know you told a couple of stories about the COVID decision and so on. What I would be really interested in is kind of this is you and you being courageous and bold, but how do you embed it in an organization and how do you create the conditions for everyone else being able to be courageous? Do you have some, routines? Do you have some processes? Do you have, quarterly innovation days, whatever, or some kind of decision criteria you've been mentioning before? The balance between profit and sustainability is, of course, a trade-off or kind of interest of your shareholders and your entrepreneurial spirit. So when do you, what are maybe kind of some guidelines where you look into the eyes of your staff and say, we do it, we don't do it?
It's a very good question because it takes time, really time. If you would like to transform a company, and I would say we are in a transformation. I started 5 years ago, and I would say we need another 5 years. So this is really a process, as you said, right. And we started to create meeting different. My wish would be we need more ownership in projects, but it's really not easy. It's a fight on a daily basis because that's in their mindset, and the culture in the past over 80 years was different. So it just takes time. But we started to set up new events like a global strategy day, 2 days, and the entire company come together, and all the brand strategies and the different departments show their work of the past 12 months and in the forecast for the 12 months ahead of them. And this is really a good base to give every person the stage to be visible and to show what they are doing. But it's not enough. There are so many other events, but it's too many to count, to be honest. Yeah.
Maybe to go on this question, what do you think would be your legacy in this time?
Oh, wow.
So what do you think you've changed? That's really linked to you. This could be something that we
You're not from the press, right? Yeah.
Ex-CEO herself.
Okay, that's really, oh wow, it's a good question. A headline or?
What do you think will last?
Now I need your help. Yeah.
No, you can do that. Be bold, be brave.
Touché. This young guy transformed the company and brought this company within 7 years to the top 10 leading companies globally.
Okay, so that's maybe the result of it, but what do you think, what did you bring that would help deliver that? So what would be really the thing you've changed that will always last?
In the past or?
Yeah, well, now in your positions, you were in an active state.
Okay. When I'm leaving, what?
Yeah,
Okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Okay.
Okay. So let's say you live in 5 years' time, you spend 10 years.
Yeah.
What do you think would survive? So what are the things that you really brought yourself
Yeah.
that has transformed so much the company that you think, okay, it will last, even if there's an overseer that will come with new ideas and okay, that's just a new life and everything. So what would be your legacy?
Wow, this is really a tough question. I would say it's a kind of mindset. I changed the mindset of a lot of people there. Being bold and just trust yourself and your qualities and open totally new paths for the company, especially social commerce, D2C, new countries. 4 years ago we started in China. I would say this and the atmosphere. This is the main, I would say this is the main point, the atmosphere. A lot of people came to me and say, okay, what is your plan, your personal plan for the next years? I would like to be with you, and if you are willing to leave, I will also leave. And this is for me, it's a really fantastic compliment to my work. If they are so close to me and my work, and yeah, something like that.
Well, it's interesting, I think I love the question. It's an amazing question because, the legacy when he's left, and it's interesting because I know you and I know the company a little bit. I think, and it's interesting how fragile the intervention even if it's a 7-year-long intervention was, but I think, the company has become more, there's a high degree of ownership. It's has been transformed into something which is more modern and more open, which I think is also interesting. And surprisingly, boldness is you. So you are, you're the bold leader who takes decisions, but I think the company is not bold.
Yeah, that was a bit my point. Is
Yeah.
when you leave, you realize that things
Yeah.
were just because you were there. They will not remain. There are things that you've changed so much. It's better.
Yeah, but perfect question. And I think, and we discussed it
I need
quite
just time to think about it
Yeah.
and to prepare my best answer. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also, people follow people, which I think is
Yeah.
also very interesting in terms, so the impact is still people related. And the question is how you can stabilize that. Beautiful question. Yeah.
In line with the new direction which the company took under your guidance, have you significantly changed your way of hiring people, profiles?
It's not easy because to hire good people it's really a challenge today. And but if you show them a vision, and if they said, okay, this is also my vision, and you have and allow them to have a good scope of work, it's not so challenging to hire good people. But I need people with the same vision, the same drive, and same passion. I have to look at their eyes. If I have an interview with a new employee, I don't have an agenda, and I just ask him, what is your favorite brand and why? It's just, I would like to get a feeling of the person. I just don't have an agenda about questions, your strengths, and where do you see you in 5 years, etc. This is not my job. I have to understand the person, to see the person, and to see the fire in his eyes, and to go the same way with me.
Okay, I think we can continue forever. I think we should have a stop at 8 latest. But anyhow, until then, you were first. You're not first, but you haven't had a question yet. True?
That's right. Before we come to an end, I would like to thank you very much for being here tonight. And in your remarkable career, if you had to do it all over again, is there anything major in particular that you would do differently now, looking back?
No. To be honest, no. Because I'm the person who I am. Especially, this is the reason why I'm so and why I'm here today. I would change nothing. No.
Thank you.
You mentioned in one of the previous answers that you believe that the perfume industry and sustainability does not go hand in hand, but one might argue that sustainability is one of the strongest forward-moving trends globally even, and that companies really have to focus on sustainability as it also matters to consumers in a large way. And we've seen in other parts of the beauty industry, like in regards to makeup products for women, numerous big brands coming under fire because of their unsustainable products. And I was just wondering, if you now say that the perfume industry is definitely not sustainable, then do you see in the future any sort of problems that might exist if, say, consumers then start laying more of a focus on sustainability? Do you think that that would then lead to a decrease in quality of the products itself, or that you would then actually have to accept the reality that sustainability is not easily mergeable with the perfume industry?
So the industry is doing a lot to be sustainable. Maybe that was misleading from my side. we are doing, and the industry doing a lot to be sustainable. But you have to know, if you look at a perfume, 80% of a perfume is alcohol. And it's not easy to be sustainable with alcohol in it. It's really, it's not easy to give you a right answer, because there are many directions in that industry. You can be successful with a sustainable brand, but then you have a different target group. The different target group, different retail channels, etc. It's not easy to give you the right answer.
So you think that the perfume industry, like on a large scale, won't be feeling the pressure to become more sustainable, sort of that there will still be numerous companies that have their focus elsewhere?
Today there are existing a lot of issues for us, because as a fragrance manufacturer, we get a lot of regulations from Brussels, from the EU, about allergies, etc., on a monthly basis, and you have to know if there one ingredient is not allowed any longer. We need a new formula. We have to change all packagings. It's huge if you look at the invest and the resources, and if you have to handle this on a monthly base, it's not easy to lead the company in a good way. So it is a main topic right now, and also next year and in 5 years. But it's always a matter of balance. Yeah.
One last question.
Yeah. I'm just curious about the adoption of AI, especially in the perfume industry.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like disruptive, or do you view it as disruptive currently, or do you see it more as a benefit to, for example, having your operations to create formulas or something like that?
So there are a lot of areas where we started to use AI for especially content creation. You don't need a shooting on the Amalfi Coast with a model. You just give the right briefing for AI, and you just have a fantastic Amalfi Coast photo. Or if you need new marketing texts for Amazon, you can also use AI. Or if you create perfumes, I would say it's just a guess that the fragrance houses in Paris also starting using AI to combine new creations. But you have to know, this industry is more a secret. Perfumes, it's always a secret. It's storytelling. And the combination of this secret and AI, it's not so sexy. And that's the reason why we are very,
Thank you.
Beautiful industry, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that was amazing. So thank you very much for being so open, so clear,
Great
so
questions.
outspoken. Yeah, very authentic. I think the questions were amazing, really. It was such a good conversation because, I think being in such an intimate circle really helps because it's getting things done. I think if I just reflect on what we just discussed, I think in being interested, being ambitious, being bold, being focused, and then deliver, that's a great recipe for success, whatever industry you're in. So thank you, Stephan.
Thank you all. Thank you.